Sorry, go.
So welcome everybody. So thank you for joining our first meeting under the new schedule. So we're now meeting on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. So we've got a general meeting today, and then we have our board meeting following afterwards. So tonight we have a guest speaker, Gabe, who's been to the Peace Conference in Türkiye. And he will give us a bit of an update of his learnings and findings from that. So, Gabe, unless there's anything else that anyone would like to raise, I will pass over to you, my friend.
Thank you, President Richard. Hello, everybody. You know who I am, so I'm not going to introduce myself. I went to the Istanbul. It's formerly, I think it was the Rotary Presidential Peace Conference in Istanbul in February, and Aurora and I actually went there a week beforehand and did some touristy stuff, and then we on her last day, I checked into the Hilton, which is where the conference was. So what I thought I would do is, rather than me just waffling on, I'll share my screen and I'll just show you the photos that I've had and just go through them as sort of as a structure, so to speak. And then feel free to ask questions and comments as you like, of course. Can you see the photo?
Yes, we can.
Great. So this is the hotel room where I was staying, and it's cost as much as it looked. So Aurora actually checked in with me, but after that she went to the airport to come home almost straight after. So she did actually stay in this hotel. Oh, why can't I see the next one? Okay. So just another angle. Now, on the last day of me being in Istanbul, this is where I had my Turkish bath. Or, well, I had a bath, which was in the hotel, which is in Turkey.
Thank you for sharing.
Bath. Yeah, I can never quite get used to these see-through toilets. Always feel a bit exposed. I'm sure many of you have been to Turkey. Well, Istanbul's got lots of cats. There are cats all around the place, and they can just do whatever they like. And this is at the front door of the Hilton, and this cat just sat there.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. I don't know what it was doing. We were just sitting there. I don't know if you guys have heard of Dubai chocolate.
No.
It's a thing. Apparently, it's specialized, basically chocolate with some pistachio flavored filling inside, and the genuine Dubai chocolate you can only get in Dubai. Yeah, so this one we actually bought at a supermarket near the Hilton, and it's obviously not the genuine Dubai chocolate, but it looked quite close, quite similar. So when Aurora saw the chocolate in the supermarket, but she didn't pay much notice of it until she went to the airport and looked at duty free and saw the same thing. And that one bar of chocolate at the airport cost, what was it? €560, which is how many dollars? I don't know.
Yeah, $10, isn't
it? Yeah, probably $10. So this same bar at the supermarket costs 60 lira. which is 60 lira is about $3 Australian. So she said to me, right, just buy a lot of them when you come back, so which I did. Yeah.
So you like it, obviously.
Well, actually, I never tasted it. I just thought, well, if they can sell it at the airport, it can't be that bad. So, and this is so much cheaper. I thought, well, might as well.
I'm going to interrupt for a second and say hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi. Did you wash your hair? Very nice. It's very easy to wash my hair. Look.
He doesn't have much hair, does he?
I resemble that remark.
Saves a lot of money on shampoo. So the actual conference is inside the Hilton, but the conference area is actually like a few floors below ground level. So we basically were having the conference in the dungeon. So this is part of the area just outside the conference area, and they had this tree, which is the well, it says the Otto and Fran Walter Foundation. So what's happened was, you guys have probably heard that there's a new peace center that Rotary has set up. So they've closed down the peace center in Thailand, and they've opened one up in Turkey, which is in Istanbul. And the Otto and Fran Walter Foundation was the sort of major donor supporter for it. Without them, the peace center wouldn't have opened. So apparently, a few people also contributed some money towards the actual conference, which is technically a separate thing, but and Mitzi, who you can see here, she is a Rotarian from Hong Kong. She's also a director of the Rotary Action Group for Peace, and she apparently made a donation to the conference event, that's why you can actually see her name on one of the leaves. Initially, when I talked to her, she said, "Oh, there's the official dinner that I didn't pay for, so I couldn't go." And I said, "Oh, well, that's too bad. I paid for mine." And then she said, "Oh, now I can come." And I go, "How did you manage that?" And she said, "Oh, well, because she made a donation to the event, that's why they managed to squeeze her in," which I thought was quite nice. So the actual conference was basically fully booked. There were about 1,000 attendees. There was apparently another 400 on waiting list.
Wow.
Yeah, so for a peace conference, I thought that was pretty amazing. Yep. Small photos of her. This lady next to her is actually a journalist from Hong Kong. I don't know how she managed to get in, but she's basically there as a journalist, so she can go to the sessions, which apparently she didn't do. All she did was hang around outside to see what's going on, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, it's just me taking lots of photos, more photos. So some of you probably know Dennis and Linda. We were the only, well, Dennis and I were the only Rotarians from our district that we saw. I don't think there was anybody else from our district. There were other Rotarians from Australia, but not from our district. Just more people. So on the left-hand side, far left, that's Jennifer Scott. who's a PDG, whom I'm sure Don knows well, and she's going to be director for
That's right.
one of the zones, including Hong Kong, I think. Yeah. And that lady next to me, her name is actually Margaret. I don't know why her tag says Boone. She actually knows Tanya Militic. So Tanya was our district's first Peace Fellow, and she's now also the Assistant Director for the Peace Initiative at Melbourne Uni. So yeah, small world. It's great that friends. Oh, this is a better shot. I have no idea why I took a photo of a bottle of water. So this is the front of the hotel looking down. It was snowing. It pretty much started snowing at the when the conference started. So when I got to the hotel. So this is the first plenary session, or the start of it. Just sort of looking at the scale of the place. Oh, yeah, advertising for Calgary. Anybody going to Calgary in June?
No.
Don?
No, I'm missing this year, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Are you going next year?
Not to Calgary.
Well, not to Calgary. Next year's Taipei.
It is.
Yeah. Anybody interested in going?
I'm going to Calgary.
Oh, you're going to Calgary. Oh, wow. Well done. Yep. Of course you are. Silly question. Well done, Madhu. You are official representative at every conference. Yeah. I don't know what they were going to do to a light show. So I think the Peace Fellow applications are still open.
Yes.
Yeah, they're closing soon, right?
Yeah, I've got a thing that I was going to give the board tonight if Richard hasn't got it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's in May, isn't it?
Yes, that's when it closes.
Yeah,
Right.
I thought it was in May. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why I took a photo of this guy, or whether he was just walking and blocking what I was trying to take a photo of. Yeah, I think I was trying to take a photo
You
of
wanted
this.
the QR code, probably.
Yeah, QR code for interpretation. Yeah. So of course there were performances. There was dancing.
Hello, Jude.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Really colorful, actually. It's quite impressive.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yep. And this is these are just some of the speakers who were there. I can't remember what they said. This is, of course, Stephanie Urchich, who's the RI president this year. And she's always very softly spoken.
Yes.
I don't know who this is. Oh, who is? There's a UN Assistant Secretary General for Peace Building Support. Fantastic. I think that this is her.
You're doing Jen.
This is I think this is
Which one did you go to, Gabe?
I think I I think I went to number 3, the harmony and in habitat environmental factors as pillars of sustainable peace. But that was actually run by the peace activator people from RI. Yeah, I probably I would have been interested in going to the positive peace in the Middle East one as well, but yeah, I got roped into the ballroom 3 because I'm as a peace activator. They said, "I'll come and help us," so I did. And then in the afternoon session, I can't even remember which one I went to. Yeah, I can't even remember. I think it could have been the first one, Bridging Divide. This is the second day. So I started off going to the, on the second day, I started going to Ballroom 3, which was the inter-country committees one, because I didn't know that much about it and wanted to learn a bit more about it. I went in there and they were talking about peace building, but that they got so many things almost right that I got a bit frustrated. So I decided to go and look at some of the other ones. I think I went to the climate change one, the last Ballroom 4. That was quite interesting as well. So there were some interesting breakout sessions, and there were plenty of spots for most of them, which was good. They had the setups right. Yeah. Oh, I think I was just handed this Bridging Divide. Yeah, went to this one. So Rebecca Kroll is from RI. She's the person who was in charge of the Peace Activator program. And there were these other panelists as well.
So, Gabe, if you don't mind me asking,
yep,
what was your takeaway from going to the conference, and what, if anything, can the E-Club of Melbourne do as far as peace building as a result of you going to the conference?
My biggest takeaway is that peace building is hard.
Yes, we all know that. Yep.
And a lot of people are doing a lot of different things, and some of them sound really amazing, but at the same time, I think it would be wrong to just sort of feel bad about that. Maybe that we feel like we aren't doing as much as some other people, because there are different ways of doing things. And sometimes I find that some people who talk about peace have very set ideas about how that should be done, and I don't think that's right. Everybody does peace differently, and I think we should encourage the people we're in contact with to do peace in a way that makes sense to them. And I think that's the best way to start, because it's, we can sort of look at one project and stick with it for a long time. That's fine, but there are many opportunities to build peace, and helping others get their projects off the ground, to me, is the best best way to go about it, because there are great ideas out there, and yeah, there's always a better project out there than what you're doing now.
Yeah, so we don't need to be a leader in any particular project, etc.
Yeah.
But how, or like in our day-to-day activities, is
Yeah.
like the time I've spent with the Holy Fools and the homeless people living rough. Like if we give them somewhere where they can have a safe shower and cook food, then they're not going to be breaking into somebody's house or living in a back park or something like that and causing trouble.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what could each of us do going from today forward that might help towards creating a more peaceful world? Or else, why did you go to the conference?
Well, I went partly, a few different parts. I wanted a holiday, so I haven't been to Turkey before. I wanted to support a peace conference because I haven't been to one for a few years, and I wanted to catch up with some Rotarians who are involved in peace building, which I did, and to see what other people are doing. But that's more curiosity than wanting to necessarily replicate what others are doing. And the more I look at, the more I think that there are some interesting ideas that that others might be interested to copy, but I don't see the need of doing that. But I think it's important for us to think about what we can do, what we want to do, and then go from there. And if we don't have any idea, then yeah, sure, by all means, copy somebody's ideas, but we don't have to, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. This is some stats. This is about polarization. Yeah. Let's close Dubai. Just going to flip through these. So this is interesting. So basically the top right-hand corner is the most polarized, and bottom left-hand corner is the least polarized. So yeah. So on the right-hand side, the more to the right you are, the more you think problems are entrenched and you can't do anything about it. And the higher up you are, the more divided your society is. That's what this apparent survey has done. So if you look at, obviously the worst one is Argentina, which is most divided and most entrenched. US, Spain, I thought really interesting. Sweden is amongst the more polarized nations, and Colombia, that's probably not too surprising. Yeah, I found it interesting that Australia, if you can see it sort of here, which is quite entrenched, not as polarized, but quite entrenched. And I thought, looking at this, the best one is Indonesia. I wouldn't have expected that, because Indonesia has got such a multicultural society. There are apparently a lot of different ethnic groups in Indonesia, like hundreds, and for some reason they seem to be less divided than China. I think that's surprising as well. This is just a close-up. Social fabric.
Sorry, Gabe, can I just, what was that based on? Like, how did they get responses to that?
Uh,
Because I'm just wondering, looking at China, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, I mean, it's if you look at the governments that actually control those countries,
yeah, I think
is it
it's
more
just,
a government response rather than
I
a
think it's a
citizen
questionnaire.
response?
I think it's a questionnaire. How likely or unlikely do you think it is that your country will be able to work through or overcome its
That's right.
ideological
But who
divisions?
was asked,
Yeah, but who
Gabe?
was asked? Yeah,
And
yeah.
who did the gatekeeping for, or chose the people to answer?
I can't remember. Yeah,
No, anyway, we probably got to take it with some grains of salt, but a very interesting spread, I think.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that um, that it's done with the intention of finding out a unbiased view of where different countries are at. So, but that doesn't mean that they can't make mistakes, etc.
Was that done by the IEP?
Good question.
Don't know.
Because they've got channels which you would think are reasonably good.
Yeah,
Sorry, who's the IEP?
I don't think it's IEP. IEP is the Institute for Economics and Peace.
Mm-hmm.
They are they are a charity that that focus on research on peace building and what the components of peace are. And Rotary has had a partnership with IEP since 2017.
But it's
So
stopped. It's stopped now, Gabe. It's finished apparently.
has it?
Stephen has posted a link in the chat, which may be where the information came from.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's true, that'd be very interesting because the Peace Activator thing is in partnership with IEP, and actually the IEP people were at the conference as well.
Yeah, I bumped into Charlie in Melbourne, who used to be
Charlie
one
Allen.
of the great, Charlie Allen, former
Yep,
member of
yep,
Melbourne before he went off to Sydney, I guess,
yeah.
to be IEP, and he said it had all been finished and he'd left them too.
I know he's left them, but I wasn't aware that the partnership is finished. There you go. So this is all the 2023 Edelman Trust Barometer. I don't know if you can search that. Maybe you can find out more.
That's the link Stephen's given us.
Oh, okay. Ideology becomes identity. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, we're interrupting you, Gabe.
No, that's all right. I'm just flicking through these and yeah. Well, these are slides from the conference, so really, I mean, it's just a sort of example of the sort of things that were presented. You can tell me to flick through these quickly, or if you want me to slow down or go back, just let me know.
So my question, Gabe, is there anything in particular you'd like to share with the club members as a result of your going to the conference?
Not. Oh, I think there were some potential ideas that might be interesting. I've actually got some sort of project ideas that sort of happen outside of the conference, which I can talk about later. But yeah, so this is Tom Gump. He's the aide to Stephanie Urchich. I knew him back in from the Hamburg convention. That's when I first met him. Very nice guy. Yeah, just this. I think this is the second day of the conference. So they were talking about peace technologies and how you can use technology to promote peace. And there are just so many different things that people do. Yeah, it's all it's all beyond me. So yeah, this is really interesting. This is talking about misinformation, and how that actually destroys peace. So if we want to promote peace, promoting truthfulness and providing, truthful information is one way of doing it.
Did you make any new connections, Gabe, that you think could be helpful to us in developing our own peace ideas?
Well, I've made connections, and yeah, definitely there are potentially things we can do. Just maybe we'll go through the slides. So that's Jennifer and Ian Scott from Sydney. Hogan and Mitzi. So this was at the dinner. And of course, the obligatory photo with the RI president. I love her brooch.
I like your tie, Gabe.
Yeah, yeah. That's my peace tie. I can't remember who that was. So this is the dinner. So I don't know why they did what they did. So in order to get into the dinner, first you had to get a wristband, and then they also gave you the seating card, and it tells you which main dish you ordered on the card. I think this was Hogan. He gave Stephanie a recognition for her donation or something like that. Yeah, to the foundation, of course. Here she was talking about. Stephanie was talking about if all else, in order to make this world a better world, all you have to do is smile. So, which is very good, because that's what I always say as well. Oh, that's the food. So we have a representative with UNICEF. Didn't know that. These are pretty bleak stats. I think the last one is a bit worrying. By 2040, the number of countries facing extreme climate-related hazards is expected to rise from 3 to 65. and 65 is basically 1/3 of all nations, and that's scary. So this is the Otto and Fran Walter Peace Center. So the BAU is the university is based in. Apparently, a group of people actually got a tour of the center. Missy went there and she told me that it's basically just a room in a university building. So it probably wasn't very very glamorous or anything like that, but it's good to see that it's there. Yeah, more sad news. Or I think the last one, well, hopefully polio would have been eradicated by 2050. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just me. So yeah, this is a list of the donors. Oh, I didn't see Tom Gump there before, so interesting. Pacific.
So, Gabe, we've only got a few more minutes to go, my friend. Is there anything that specific you would like to share with the
members? Just let me stop sharing this and I'll be back in a sec. Just hold on a second.
Tom Gump is going to be the RI director.
Silly question while we're waiting. Who's our new next president? I'm out of the loop. RI president, sorry. Anybody know offhand?
No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, it was only when Gabe was talking about Stephanie. You're right. I haven't really been concentrating.
No, I don't know who the incoming is.
Is it a South American person or Brazilian?
Yeah, Marco.
Yes.
Yeah,
From Brazil.
I'll go Google.
Okay, Gabe, you're back, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. So I got this book, which is called The Giraffe Language School. This is about peace language or for kids, and it's got lots of pictures and stuff. So it's about teaching kids about non-violent communication. So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it, and also tips on communicating in a way that's peaceful. This might be something that our club could potentially support. So I'll share this around when we have an opportunity to meet and see what you guys think and work out how we can maybe spread that through schools or whatever.
Excellent.
Yeah, and since then I have some other ideas both for membership and projects, but I will share that another time.
All right, so what we might do is, do any members have any specific questions of Gabe regarding the Peace Conference?
Yeah, Gabe, thanks very much for sharing your experiences and time over in Istanbul. I was seriously thinking of going, but the cold weather put me off.
The what, sorry?
The cold weather.
Oh, the cold weather.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that cold until the conference.
Oh, okay.
It was all right when we first got there.
Right.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask was just the theme of social cohesion, and if that was discussed very much. So I know that here in Australia, government talks about social cohesion.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if that was a concept being discussed at the conference.
I think the bit that I was sharing about how divisive societies are, that's sort of the other side of the same coin, I guess.
Right. Okay.
But I wasn't. It wasn't discussed directly. I don't think. Just want to share a photo. This is the incoming board or the current board, RI board, I think. Apparently, I don't know if Don knows whether this is the right.
No, I don't know. Don't know.
This is the incoming one.
This is the incoming one.
Some
right.
of them anyway.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, the president's missing.
Yeah. Well, there was actually a bit of controversy at the conference. So during the conference, there was a protest at our peace conference. There's one guy that protested at our conference. Apparently, he was complaining that that we didn't talk about Gaza at the conference. So he was led away by security, and then the police was called. Apparently, he was dressed in a suit, so he wasn't actually violent or anything. He was just protesting. I thought it sounded like an overkill to call the cops, but anyway. I haven't heard anything official about it though.
All right. Before we close off this part, does anyone else have any specific questions for Gabe? Norman?
Just comment that I've been browsing the Edelman website, and I've just put a link in the chat which explains how they got the information.
Right.
Thank you.
And did that look good?
I haven't been able to spend an hour going through it, Gabe.
I think we can digest that, yes.
33,000 respondents in 28 countries, demographically sorted, supposedly. But presumably, given it's online, they're all middle class and above.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions from any members?
Was it worth going, Gabe?
Yes, because.
And what was your big takeaway from it?
Well, for me personally, my biggest takeaway was actually reconnecting with people I had connections with before.
Okay.
Especially the Turkish Rotarians whom during COVID I was working with to do one of the Anzac Day events. So I made some friends in Turkey, and a lot of them were in Istanbul. So I actually got to meet them in person for the first time. And there were other Rotarians that I sort of reconnected with, which was really good as well. So I think that was,
And just personally, is Holger well?
I didn't really.
He was very unwell with COVID.
He looked okay. But I didn't actually get a chance to speak with him.
He's a nice fellow.
He is a nice fellow. Yeah. Actually, did I talk to him? I think I did. Yeah, I did quickly. I had a quick chat to him. Yeah.
Excellent. Any other questions? Beautiful. Thank you, Gabe. What I'll do is I will close off the recording from tonight's session, and members are welcome to hang around, and then we will have our board meeting. Thanks, Gabe.
Thanks. I
Thanks,
need a
Gabe.
drink.